women in leadership positions here at the university who talk about their journeys through how they came to either work at the university or through their personal lives, what they're doing right now. So for the students, and most of you are students today, attending, we want to add value and connection to what you learn in your classroom. So today's experience is designed to help you have a learning outcome with the UNAVOA, learning outcome of communication, and then self-awareness. The program format today is very casual, meaning that Shelly will share her story. She's looking for you to ask questions. So as you think of things you may want to ask her, just jot those down. There will be plenty of time at the end. Our speaker today is Shelly Irwin. She is the producer and host for WGVU here at Grand Valley. She produces the morning show, if you've ever heard that, on the radio station. And she's won numerous awards for her work in talk shows, nationally and locally. She has also worked at a station in Detroit and has represented Pontiac on the auto show circuit, something new that I didn't know. She holds a master's degree from the University of Indianapolis. She is a runner and chases after her 2 dogs. And I know Shelly never sits still. She is always going, a pretty high energy person. So join me in welcoming Shelly Irwin.
Still for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was tough. Hi everybody. Thanks for being here and taking time out of your day, and don't make those questions too hard. I had a little test anxiety when I was your age, so be careful with them. Thanks for the kind introduction, Joanne. It is important that obviously you have these formats such as, oh, here comes the dean. I have to behave myself. That we share these stories to you who are obviously involved in your careers and are looking to hopefully find mentors and or leaders to share their stories, their mistakes et al. I'm not officially a Laker. I did graduate from the University of Indianapolis Masters and my undergrad from Indiana University, so I'm a red gal, but being here almost 10 years, I consider myself hopefully an adopted Laker, and who knows, there's always a degree beyond the Masters. So to be a student again, I would enjoy that opportunity. I had a fun ride myself, and congratulations to you for pursuing higher education. And there will not be a quiz at the end of this session. So the intent of her story is to offer an opportunity for you, the community of Grand Valley State University, to listen to authentic stories of women leaders here at Grand Valley. And what you will hear will, according to the notes, shatter myths about women in leadership positions and highlight the experiences that motivated them to success. And thank you, Joanne, for this opportunity. I think I fit the bill. I'd like to talk a little bit about leadership and perhaps share a morning show moment or two with you. In elementary school, I wanted to be on the Brady Bunch. In junior high, I wanted to be on Broadway. In high school, I wanted to be on the radio. And today, I do hold a master's degree in physical therapy. So why am I hosting and producing shows for both NPR and PBS? And I want to get back to that in just a second. Your 6th President of the United States, John Quincy Adams, says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and become more, you are a leader. Leading by doing. Why am I qualified to speak on the subject? I don't have a management degree. I don't have a CEO. I'm not a CEO of a Fortune 500. I'm not an elected official. But I do host and lead a 2-hour morning show and several public affair PBS programs on the television side. I serve on 4 boards of directors, 4 advisory committees. I MC, keynote. I've judged the Miss Michigan Teen, the local salmon festival, the pumpkin carving contest. I've served ice cream, coffee, played golf for a good cause. I've even danced with the local stars. I was recently the first female president of the Grand Rapids Lions Club after 89 years. Thank God they finally got their act together. So I'm a doer. I believe in leading by doing. So what's it take to be a leader? Start by just being a doer. World champion figure skater Christy Yamaguchi says, focus, discipline, hard work, goal setting, and the end result, the thrill of finally achieving your dreams. These are her lessons in life. So are leaders born or made? Is it the nature versus nurture thing? I did Google and Facebook the question, popular responses. Leaders are sort of born. They're not necessarily the smartest in the room. They're smart enough to do the job they're assigned. On the flip side, leaders aren't born. They have to work to earn respect and the right to lead. Leadership is an apprentice trade, as leaders do learn about 80% of their craft on the job. But I was a firstborn kid, played first trumpet, sat in front of the class. I worked diligently to win those blue ribbons with my little dog in 4-H. Surely I had leader DNA. Or did I make a choice to lead by doing? Was I given an opportunity? Did I say yes when I was asked to come out of my comfort zone? Probably. What's it take to be a leader? Be a doer, and perhaps you can choose to be a leader. Financial guru Susie Orman, when it comes to the art of giving, true generosity must benefit both parties. No woman can control her destiny if she doesn't give of herself to herself as much as she gives of herself. I believe in giving. Speaking of controlling one's destiny, did I mention the career change? Any physical therapists in the house or physical PT wannabes? Thank you, congratulations. Broadcast majors in the house? There's nothing similar about, there's some interviewing in both processes. From PT to broadcaster. What was I thinking, you may ask? What was my parents' thoughts when I told them about it after 7 years of education? Well, I do blame it on the childhood dream. Why physical therapy? It was a natural fit. I liked school, I liked science, all of the ologies, math, anatomy. I liked the healthcare field. You help people in physical therapy. I could get a job. I practiced after I graduated in the mid-'80s in Savannah, Georgia, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. I ran a great clinic. Moved to Rochester, Michigan. Along the way, I made good friends. Had a nice house. Ran a marathon in my spare time. Something was missing. The boyfriend, of course, broke up with me. That does help you move on in life. So it was time to make my move, and I was over in Rochester, Michigan, November '98. I was 38 years old, and I thought, maybe it's time to make that move. So for about 2.5 years, I made that move. I paid my dues and chased the dream. I thought about it. I read broadcasting books and journals. I talked to DJs at local festivals. I went to events that featured those who I aspired to be, the local anchor women, the talk show hosts. I went up to them and asked probably stupid questions, but I went up to them. And I did that in my class as well. I did take 8 months of formal training at Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. We're only in an 8-month program that my classmates were between the ages of 18 and 24, so I felt feel very close to home with you, with the exception of it took 5 minutes for the class to come to order, and I don't think that happens here at Grand Valley, right? On this journey, in addition to my 8 months of training, while I was doing that, I did receive an internship at WJR, which is a pretty big kudos in that venue. And again, remember that I'm 38 years old. I was the lowly production assistant at WXYZ Channel 7 out of Detroit, which meant I got the faxes and I got the lotto numbers. I was a Pontiac Auto Show girl on this career change journey, which was a month. Every other month I would actually go out on the weekends and talk about the Pontiac car, which no longer exists. What's that mean? But that gave me some speaking opportunity and obviously a chance to get out and about and continue obviously earning some money. So here we are with the end of 8 months of Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts, where we graduated with our certificate. I was at that point promoted to WJR's production assistant, which meant I was now making $7 an hour. I continued also doing physical therapy as a fill-in. Throughout my JR travels, I traveled to Paris, to Frankfurt, Germany for local remote, or for obviously international remote broadcasts. I poured coffee for the hosts when they held the coffee cup up. I'm about 39 now. Called the mayor at 5 a.m. when there was breaking news, and I did continue filling in as a physical therapist when I could. I never complained, I was never late, and I did have fun. But how long does fun ultimately pay the bills and answer the dream? And I did get some unique reporting opportunities. I called in flight reports from the airport. They would send me out, this was before 9/11, standing in the cold and see which airlines were delayed, and I would call those in and they would run those on the air. But I was on air. Got an exclusive with Arnold Schwarzenegger with my roving microphone. He's shorter than you would expect, but he has big biceps, and I'll leave it at that. I was in Germany on 9/11. They were producing an auto show when 9/11 happened, and the only way we could get access was we were working on behalf of Ford, and they had their Ford vans with the TVs that you brought down. So that was how we got the news, with the exception of the radio, the visual news. So that was interesting. I asked for more on-air time. The news director told me I just didn't have a broadcast voice. So it was time to be a doer, to make a choice, to make my radio dream finally come true, to pour a little less coffee. So I did hear of and applied for the WGVU job. This is November 2001. And got it, sold my house, moved here, and worked Christmas Day. It was worth it. So today I do host for your local NPR station, a 2-hour morning show, also 2 or 3 shows for the PBS side, received some national and local recognition, and I've still never been late, and rarely complain, and I'm having a lot of fun. What's it take to be a leader? Be a doer, make a choice, and take a risk on yourself, or maybe on someone else. Tennis great Chris Everett. Find something you're really interested in doing in your life. Pursue it, set goals, and commit yourself to excellent. Do the best you can. So I am settled, focused, respected, with good energy. So I give back. I lead by doing. Whether through my show material choice, the boards I served on, the small checks I write, or the time I must spend with my 2 dogs, and one is very bad. I often interview leaders. General Claudia Kennedy, Generally Speaking, is her book. It's a memoir by the first woman promoted to 3-star general in the United States. She says, be good mentors, be persistent, be self-disciplined. Stephen Covey is a very prominent leader. He writes the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says, there are 3 constants in life: change, choice, and principles. Poet Maya Angelou, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. I serve on the Grand Rapids Athena Committee. The Athena Foundation supports, develops, and honors women leaders. Today's recipient, the recipient of the Lakeshore Athena, was an example of this. They have tenets: live authentically, learn constantly, act courageously, celebrate, give back, advocate fiercely, foster collaboration, and build relationships. Assisted with Dale Carnegie Leadership. Mr. Carnegie says that leaders throw down a challenge, they admit they're wrong quickly, and they show respect for other person's opinions. Yes, I've even Facebooked my fans and my friends about leadership. Tell me what you feel leadership means to you. I have at least 25 responses. Hot topic. My friend Cheryl says leaders help those who are doing poorly do well, and those who are doing well do even better. Friend says good leader has the vision to surround themselves with the right people to get things done. Asanda writes, great leaders are the ones who are willing to pick up the paper on the floor instead of stepping over it. A lot less trash in the world if we all did that. According to Napoleon Bonaparte, those who have changed the universe have never done it by changing officials, but always by inspiring the people. And when it comes to leadership, according to Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, I had to look this up, I couldn't do this remote. As you serve, be happy. Be like Sneezy, at times be contagious. Don't be too bashful, but show humility. Be like Doc. It's okay if you want to fix things. Don't be grumpy. Do show appropriate body language at all times. Be like Sleepy. Create dreams. Don't be dopey. Leaders say thank you. Leadership, going for your dreams, requires mental toughness. Be committed, even though you're not motivated. Prepare, and prepare some more. Nothing is better to build confidence. I was often over-prepared for the test and then forgot everything, so don't go there. Practice how you want to play. When under pressure, you do need to focus. So you take away from today, hopefully there won't be a quiz. You're taking notes. Is there a quiz there?
No.
Okay.
I assume they're taking them for their classes.
Good. Maybe a favorite new quote. Maybe a reminder of those 7 dwarfs. Have you ever met the dean? Whether your roles lie in leadership, professionally or personally, or maybe you have thought about going for your childhood dream, and you can. Might take you a master's degree in another field and maybe 15 years of practice, but I challenge you to be a doer. What's the line in the song, Stealing From? If you have a chance to sit it out or dance, just dance. Make the right choice. You can choose your attitude. We all have bad days, but you can make a choice. You can choose to persevere, to follow your dream and or calling. You can take a risk. You're taking a risk now, obviously. Take a class that may seem over your head, that you don't think you'd have any chance of passing. Take it. Accept a leadership opportunity that you don't think you can do. Bet you'll be surprised and you make a few friends. I wish I would have in college. I was in a sorority, but I wish I was a little more involved with the campus itself. Or give a leader that opportunity. You yourselves are mentors to the younger ones. If you're a senior, give a freshman a chance. If I hadn't taken a risk, I hope you recognize some of these people. I would have never have interviewed Dick Van Patten. He had too much to drink at his 7 a.m. telephone interview. That happens. Actor Shirley MacLaine coughed her way through the whole radio interview. That was interesting. When I was a kid, the big syndicated shows were the Waltons, the Brady Bunch, Lassie. So I have interviewed John Boy in studio, Peter Brady in studio, the Beeve, Beverly Hillbillies, Jethro, Timmy from Lassie. These are all childhood dreams, again, coming to fruition. I was kissed by Richard Simmons. Please don't follow him as a mentor. He's a nice guy. I've interviewed the Dog and Horse Whisperer. It's kind of unique. Mothers of stars, of sports athletes, write books. I've interviewed the mother of Michael Phelps, Lance Armstrong, Michael Jordan, the ex-wife of Lance Armstrong. But I haven't talked to Lance yet. Daughter of Martin Luther King, Yolanda, who I think has lost her life. Son of Jim Lair, Larry King. Again, all these brothers and sisters and sons and daughters of the celebrities. My biggest frustration, I listen to 104.1, which means that's a little stronger signal, and WGVU is your university station, so we hope to educate you that 88.5 is on the map. My biggest joy, I'm forced to get smarter. Every interview I go into, I prepare for. Can't read all of the books, but there are secrets to that called good publicists and folders on the front and folders on the back, and you think about your interview before. Biggest stretch, I did do a vagina monologue with the Grand Valley group here. That was fun. But if you've ever seen those monologues, you come out of your comfort zone for a good reason. I've emceed the Guitar Hero, Ms. Wheelchair, Michigan bridal shows. I've never been a bride. I had to kind of ask a few questions. What's that piece on the dress? I've had conversations with my own mentors. Diane Rehm hosts the show that comes right after me, and she was in studio, so I was nervous. I have served ice cream, coffee, golf for charity, carried a microphone on a mountain bike race, been in fashion shows, etc. I get several books a day. Bestsellers, the Dean Kuntzes, the Janet Ivanoviches, the David Baldaccis. I also get some pretty weird books. Here's the title, You're Grounded Forever. First, Let's Go Shopping. One author writes, before you suffocate your own fool self, it's the title of the book, Before You Suffocate Your Own Fool Self. And then Retail Hell. So, not all books get their interviews. What's next? I did just turn 50 and I'm having a hard time with that. But they say it gets better. Andy Rooney says women over 50 are dignified. Maybe I'll write a book and get interviewed myself. Will the big house ever call? I still have my PT license. Of course, stay the course and hope that I've met the her story objective. When women share what is truly in their souls, when they disclose what has kept them from giving up, what has helped them to succeed, we're often moved and motivated. And I hope you've been moved and motivated in your own way. Thank you. Questions? Comments? Yes?
First of all, before my question, I just wanted to tell the audience how much Shelly Irwin has done for the community. She's a support person. Her show was awesome. Turn off your music, turn it on in the morning, and some very interesting interviews. As a matter of fact, I heard one on the way back from an appointment, and all I heard was her last name, and I Googled her, found her, emailed. She sent me some information about her book, and that was from your show, so that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Very supportive in the community, and we appreciate that. My question is, you're 38, you're a physical therapist, making really, really good money. What did your parents say to you when you said, I want to make $7 an hour?
They didn't help me with the tuition to Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. You know, at that point, their comment was, don't let your PT degree expire. You can always practice. There was always some subtle, and this is mostly coming from Mom. I mean, you know how dads are. They won't say too much. You can always practice PT. Maybe you can teach PT. There was always this, that's great, but the physical therapy. But I think they knew I was quite a headstrong person and that I pretty much was going to stay on a roll. But I did practice physical therapy right up until I moved here, pretty much the weekends, etc. But I had gotten involved in community theater down south, so I think they started getting a hint of the other side of my love. But even today, I'll still hear you could most probably do some PT on the side if all else falls through. But I'm a different person. I don't know if I could, I love the degree, but I know I couldn't go back and supervise 8 to 12 patients a day doing exercises and paperwork and turning it over. I would have to either own the clinic or teach or something. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But I did put everything also into my physical therapy degree. I studied and did well, etc. So, and I am not going to say woulda, coulda, as far as why didn't I start off as a freshman in broadcast, because I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to do that. It just took me a little longer to get it together. So.
Are there other questions?
Well, what keeps you from grazing at the trough and keep you ambitious and excited about your job?
Well, if you looked at my schedule, it really, I haven't looked back at once. I'm very lucky to be able to have a pretty open format of what I would like to schedule in that 9 to 11. Obviously, I need to meet the mission of informing, educating, and entertaining, and it can't all be about running and dogs. Although I think I did an interview about dogs today. I've also had the opportunity of literally 3 other television shows, and you get some pretty darn good feedback. I'll have I know that I've gotten a message out about this community benefit, or I guess I'm learning so much to boot. I never took a history class in all my academic career, I mean, I'm forced to be learning so much more, and I hate to be cliche, but it is my little dream that's come true. And so, and you're right, I cut my salary in thirds, so it's okay. But there are some perks too, such as, you know, I guess interviewing John Boy Walton, whatever. But it really is and I'm blessed that Grand Valley gives us that opportunity, because that can be taken away tomorrow, and I know that, so.
Did you have
Yes.
mentors along the way that how you moved from PT into
No.
broadcast? No?
No, I have to admit, there was no one else that made this type of jump. I mean, I had my, I guess that dream, or, I mean, my mentors started coming when I hooked up with WJR.
Okay.
You know, seeing those gals and guys doing what they do and saying, boy, I'd like to be a Marie Osborne in the anchor booth, or, you know, I mean, sure, we all have that dream of wanting to be an anchor person too, but I never had that one person that I wanted to be even before that, with the exception of some theatrical needs so from 9 to 11, I have a show.
Are you doing theater now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's
It's
just
on your
say-
next dream?
Problem with theater is you need 4 to 5 nights of freedom to rehearse. And when I look at my schedule, those are filled with some other cool opportunities, with the exception if the right show comes along. Yeah, I've done some dabbling of the. There's been a local small change movie. You can probably see me in the background, and so. So I guess, I mean, the message is stay the course. You know what you have to do as far as the gut feeling of what you want to study. But if that little dream comes back, see if you can tap into it here or there, and enjoy this ride that you all have. Because I may be 50 now, but I kind of feel 35, and just did a 27-mile mountain bike race up in Traverse City, crashed and burned once, but didn't do too badly. So life is short, take it a step at a time. Anything else?
The one thing I was just going to add to what you had said earlier, the Vagina Monologues, the Women's Center and the Women's Commission sponsor the Her Story series. I didn't mention that earlier, but we do have the Vagina Monologues auditions coming up. So if you were interested, I have a flyer here. So, and as Shelly mentioned, that was one of her leaving her comfort zone and trying something new. So those are coming up the coming week in November, and the dates and times are located on the flyers. I know another thing that Shelly has done is we work in the Women's Center with students needing to do projects for their classes. So I have 2 students that are helping me with a project around poverty. We have Donna Beagle that will be coming to Grand Rapids, coming to Allendale actually, on Monday, November 29th, right after Thanksgiving at 6:30 in the evening. And the 2 students that are helping me on this project did research and are tying in one of their class projects along with this program. And Shelly has graciously agreed to interview them on Friday, both about their project and about this upcoming program. So when she says she is there a part of the community, I know for a fact that Shelly means that. So Donna Beagle on November 29th, Breaking Down Poverty's Barriers, is another program that the Women's Center will be co-sponsoring coming up in November. You also received an evaluation today. I asked you if you could complete that before you leave. If you have other questions of Shelly, you're more than welcome to stay after and ask Shelly those questions.
Come sit in on our,
Yeah, is there anything further at this point? Okay.
Yeah, good.
Then if you would complete your evaluations, we also would like to take a minute and thank Shelly for sharing her story today. So we have a small gift. Yeah. Did I mention small?
Yes.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
So thank you, Shelly, for sharing this.